a prophet, a messenger of God, right? And they might not know what they're asking. And so, as they say, you're probably better off staying largely a buck private rather than being a commander, because it'd be not many masters, for instance, it says, be not many masters, for unto you is the greater condemnation. Now, if God appears to you and then God comes to you and you might then be told to go and warn so-and-so, or go and work with so-and-so or these people, a stiff-necked generation, well, you're not going to be so much glorified up there in bright lights, are you? You're going to be persecuted and rejected, and you won't be believed by people. And why should they listen to you? Who are you that God should speak to you? And by the way, Moses wasn't such a good speaker, neither was Paul. And Jeremiah wasn't such a good speaker. Moses even said that he wanted someone to speak on his behalf for him. And so God allowed Aaron to work with him. Aaron being a good speaker, Moses being not so much a good speaker. But on the other hand, Moses spoke the absolute words of God, whereas Aaron was obviously okay with God and obviously worked with God and obeyed God. But there were times when it appears that even Aaron didn't obey God and even questioned Moses' authority. And when that happened, this pillar of fire, that was a pillar of fire by night, God working with Moses, right, even in a visible, they could actually see in this same sense, either it was God or the angel. This is where it's kind of a crossover between God and angel, right? So in the Old Testament, that they had a more visible appearance of this angel. Well, the angel appeared to Moses first as a fire in a bush, and then it appears that this same angel would turn into a pillar of fire by night and a pillar of cloud by day. And Aaron and Miriam were once questioning Moses' authority. And then this pillar of cloud, it was daytime, I guess, came down to the, as I remember, to the tabernacle. And immediately jumped on this. I mean, you got two people challenging Moses' authority, right? Moses operating under the very presence of God. And God had told Moses that Moses would be God even to Pharaoh. So you see how it works. Moses is God to Pharaoh, and Moses is a man. Well, Moses is getting messages from God via an angel that appeared to him in a burning bush and was giving him those messages, the angel coming to him in the presence of God. And then God telling Moses to go to Pharaoh and thou shalt be God to him. So Aaron and Miriam, I think it's Moses' older brother, I think he was, Aaron actually, and older sister. So you think, well, hang on, it usually, God doesn't necessarily operate according to the norms, and God is no respecter of persons. Man looketh on the outward appearance, and God looketh on the heart. Just because someone's your older brother doesn't mean they're your older brother in the Lord. God might speak more to the younger and not so much to the older. The elder, God might choose the younger even over the older, when normally it's the older brother, the firstborn, that would be the heir to the father's good fortunes and to the father's good name. And this happened with Jacob and Esau. Esau came out first, they were twins. And so you would imagine the heir to the father's fortune and name, good name, would have been Esau. But God chose Jacob. So God is no respecter of persons, and people tend to go with Hollywood and look for a prophet or a man of God who's handsome and young and everything else. But that isn't necessarily so with God. So it's interesting when you hit that account there where God come down to Moses and Moses, Miriam and Aaron challenging Moses his authority. I think he'd married another a woman from another tribe, and as a rule with God, they were supposed to marry in the family. Well, Moses had married a woman who I guess he took as a second wife, was from another tribe. And I think that was the situation, as I remember correctly. And Aaron and Miriam questioning Moses as his authority. So you picture them talking to Moses at the doorway of the tabernacle, right, the tent. And this angel, very much aware of the conversation, the angel stood over yonder valley, let's say, with all the children of Israel in sight. And this angel, if it says pillar, I always go with pillar. Now, picture a pillar that holds up a building, an actual pillar of a building, not a pillar like it's spelled as in not a pillar that you put your head on. But if you read how it's spelled like a pillar. So you picture a pillar that holds up a building inside a building that holds up a building, right? So when it says pillar of cloud, you picture a pillar that's like a cloud, not an actual cloud like a cloud like you would see rain, but the nearest description they could come up with would have been like a cloud. You see this pillar, it's like a pillar and yet like a cloud, if you take it literal, that is, right? Well, this pillar of cloud can move. And so this conversation with Moses took place, and this pillar of cloud, right? I guess this angel in this cloud, which was the angel in the cloud, pictured as a cloud, pillar of cloud, right? That's how he appeared. Simply moves from one end of the camp to the other and stops at the doorway where this conversation is taking place. The angel thinks there's a challenge to Moses' authority. Moses is God to the people. This is serious, right? Be not many masters, for unto you is the greater condemnation. So this pillar of cloud came to the tent at the door, and then the conversation proceeded then onwards between Moses, the angel, if not the Lord, in the presence of the angel, Miriam and Aaron. And Miriam was, I think of it as I remember, was made white and leprous and was driven without the camp for about